Let's see, what tune should I listen to? Hello. Birds everywhere. You can say hi if you want. I mean, I'm not forcing you. But, hello. I should probably turn this down to where you guys can hear me. There we go. So I can talk to you guys, but yet you guys can probably still hear the music. But I got new fur today. I'm taking a dangerous risk here, putting my hand in the paw. But I got new fur today, and I'm going to attempt. Because Riot is a experiment. I'm not going to be using tape to make him. Instead, I'm just going to cut out a piece. I'm going to put, like, for the paws and for the feet, I'm just going to put, like, the paw under the fur and then cut it out. I mean, this is a nice little rough shape. I mean, I have pieces that I have to put down, but overall, his paws look pretty good. They're nice and fluffy, though. So. Oh no, I got Mod Podge in. Oh, that's sad. Well, at least I'm gonna be brushing, not painting it, shaving that area. Oh, look, he's so pretty now. I'm kind of just like putting the head aside and working on the easier parts. Trying to pick up the little rascals over here. Yay, I got one. But if you do have any questions, like what's the hardest part of the fursuit to make, blah, 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 stuff like that. That's gonna be nice. I'm doing okay. Like, I just now checked up on the chat, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna use my iPad case just to pick up the needles because I am dumb. And I don't know how to pick up needles with nails into this. Oh. Got Mod Podge on me again. Yeah. But if I sound a little under the weather today, I technically apparently starved myself to some people yesterday. Okay, so the thing that wanted to make me make fursuits was an app that originally was called Musical.ly but is now called TikTok. When I was on that app, I had this one Halloween suit I had, in which was a mangle suit. And I would post with the full thing on, and everyone would ask if it was like a little fursuit or something like that. And I looked it up the one day, and I saw these amazing suits that people would make, like lemon brat suits and all that other stuff. And that's just basically what got me into the fandom. And from there, I was just fascinated by it, because it was like these beautiful works of art that I was into. At the time, I liked drawing too, and so I was like, whoa, I could probably do this. That ought to be a nice little hobby I can have. And now I sit downstairs and work on them. Being alone, you know. I'm just trying to keep my channel alive by doing this, you know. Just don't want to die and then not be on YouTube anymore. But look at how beautiful his paws are. They're so pretty. I'm shaking the paws because I'm trying to get most of the fur off. Yay. I like this kind of fur because it has like black tips on the top of it. And so if I were to ever like bend my fingers, you can see the black line. That's what I like about this. And then I was gonna shave just only the fingertips, like right there. But this was apparently a heat-safe glove, and you couldn't feel any heat through it, but whenever I was gluing it on, boy did I burn myself multiple times. It hurt gluing that stuff on. But I'm basically out of luck because I don't have any hot glue gun sticks. I cleaned off most of my entire desk just to find hot glue gun pieces of like small little chunks and things. I'm gonna now look underneath my table to see if I have any. So if you do ask me a question and I don't answer it that quick, it's because I'm probably under my table looking for hot glue gun pieces like a weirdo. Because I need to get some of this stuff done because the day for Comic-Con, in which the Comic-Con I'm going to, is closing in on me. So, plus I go to school on the 7th, August 7th, and I think today is August 5th. And tomorrow is my 3rd year birthday on YouTube, and I will have a video up, so happy early 3rd year birthday for me. And it's going to be a lot of things saying I've been on YouTube for 3 years, sorry for my inactivity, stuff like that. You know, just to let the peoples know I'm still alive. And I'm not dead somewhere. But thank you. But my actual birthday, the day I was born, is October 11th. I'm not gonna say what year because then I don't want people like freaking out about it. Like, oh my gosh, this age, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm not gonna say what year. But I will have a Q&A out on my August 6th, which is tomorrow. If I get it done, it might be out on August 7th, which means I'm gonna have to record the video today, get it done and edited and all other stuff, and then post it tomorrow. Because in the day after I go to 7th grade, and I was going to do a video with going to school with a fursuiter. I was gonna do a thing called going to school with a fursuiter, but I was pretty sure nobody wanted to just go to my crazy school with me, you know, like walk around, say hello to all my weird friends and stuff like that, because I have a lot of awkward friends. Awkward like me. Hello. But yeah, I'm aware that probably nobody wants to go to an awkward middle school with a lot of weird people. Oh yeah, plus I'm wearing the leggings for Riot's legs. I do have leggings underneath them, so if I ever do take these leggings off, word of warning, I have something underneath them. Leggings on leggings. It keeps your legs warm, but not your feet. I honestly just randomly have this big board right here. Really? Well, tell them I said hi. Oh no. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna show you the pieces of the new fur I got. First of all, I don't even know why I just threw my new one on the floor. This is my new fur. Well, one of them. This is one of my new pieces of fur. It's a yard of fur, and I already cut a piece off. I like the way it looks because if I were to ever like move around in it, you could see like the black lines and stuff like that. It's because it's black tipped. It's gray, but the tips are black. And then I have a nice light kind of salmon pink. Hobby Lobby just recently brought out all of the crazy furs because at the time they only had a small amount. Like they only had natural color furs, like black and white, like blacktail is, and that was the only kind of fur that they had, and I didn't just want to stick to that. But then I also got this one, which was I just stepped on the bag. The salmon pink I was talking to you guys about. Is it going to be for like the arm sleeves and stuff like that? And possibly his legs. So, it's great for a rug or a blanket in which it's actually pretty comfortable. I could see myself using this as a blanket. Probably not. Oh, I like this one. S'more. And I just put my hand in the Mod Podge I have over here. Because I made Riot new eyeballs. Plus, I'm going to have to take off this one piece of fur. Oh, the black one fell. The black fur. But I'm going to do that right now because if I don't do it in the future, then I'm going to probably get mad at myself. But, yeah. Plus, I went to Goodwill and I got me some new razors. Well, not razors, but new clippers. And of course, they're going to look old because it's Goodwill. Goodwill is like the #1 place I go to if I ever need anything for like suits and stuff like that. I don't go there to buy clothes, honestly. I don't want to have somebody that might have died and just wear their clothes. That's the way I'll put it. If anyone ever wants to ask me, hey, let's go to Goodwill and go buy you some clothes, I'll say no. But I will donate some of my clothes to Goodwill, so if you live in Alabama and you live near Goodwill, you might be wearing some clothes that I wore before. But I'm pretty sure you might have gone to some other different Goodwill. So you never know. You might be wearing the clothes of a dead person. And that's why I never go to Goodwill. The only time I'll ever go to Goodwill is if I need stuff like this, which is a razor, but it's not plugged in. That's the only time I'll ever go to Goodwill. Because I don't want to wear some dead person's clothes. I'm going to go venture under my table. Oh, hey, there's some needles down here. got lucky and I found some. I found 2. Only 2. I cannot waste these. Next thing I need to find are small pieces, because I have 2 small pieces in here. They're so cute and they're so small. I'm gonna again put my paw on, because that's the way I will make my paws. Is I'll put the paw on. I got fur in my mouth. I'll put the paw and I'll just glue the fur on like that. But Riot, I'm experimenting with him. Just in case if anyone wasn't here, I am experimenting with Riot. I will not be using a tape base, in which you should do that, but I'm just seeing which one would be easier for me. Oh, that's easy to take out. Oh my goodness, the needle fell out. Lesson learned, don't use needles that you cannot see the tips. Like the ones, like my yellow ones, I'm using them. But then I also have the ones without tips, or the ones that do have tips, but you can rarely see them. Barely see them. Come here. Like ones like this. Oh, there's fur all over it. But since I'm using gray fur, you can't see it. And also in white fur, you can't see it. It's like another day going live, talking about my fursuiting issues. Speaking of fursuiting issues, I went to Walmart. If you do go suiting in a store, make sure you call up the people to book a time that you can go. But I was suiting at Walmart, and it was like kind of nice because I had some pictures taken with me. But we also had to go shopping for stuff, and I was like, you know what, I think I just might tag along and go help find some stuff. So we called them the day before that we went, and they said it was okay and that we can go. But the day that we went, we walked in there, and I was wearing blacktail. Some 3-year-olds just ran up to me and just started, like, attacking me. Like, you know, pulling on my ears and stuff like that, and I kind of had to tell them, please don't do that. And then they instantly got sad, and, like, they ran off to their parents or their grandparents, and their grandparents walked up to me, and they just started to yell at me, and was like, I'm sorry. They were abusing my suit, so I can't really do anything with that. And then, since my mom was there, and so was my friend, we had to tell them what happened, and that their kids were attacking me. Like, they weren't hitting me or anything, but it was like they were pulling on my ears and stuff like that. I'll show you where the spots that they were, like, attacking me. They were pulling on my ears, like, doing that. And yes, generally I will do that. That is okay. But then once they started to pull on my jaw and stuff like that, I had to kind of back them away. And I was like, sorry, you can't do that. So make sure if you do go suiting in public, you have a handler with you. And make sure that your handler will, like, if anyone were to attack you or attempt to, especially going out to, like, a mall or anything, that's when sometimes there'll be, like, teens over there that are like, ooh, hey, it's like a person in a suit, let's go attack them. That's actually happened to me before. We called up our local mall, and I went suiting in blacktail again, and these teens were, like, pulling on my tail and stuff like that, and I had to, again, push them away, because at the time I was with my friend, and she didn't know what was going on, so I had to tell her to come over there and go help me with the situation, because, oh boy, it got bad. I didn't like it. So, handlers are always there to help you. They're not just there to make everything seem strict and that you can't do that, but they're there to keep you protected and stuff like that. So, make sure you go suiting in public, or just anything, like going cosplaying in public. My friend went cosplaying in public, and I had to go over there with her to make sure nothing happened to her, and somebody attempted because she was wearing like revealing clothing, a crop top and stuff like that, and somebody attempted to take the crop top off of her, and like the thing that was, because she was wearing a one of those things, like a bodysuit kind of thing, that they're colored, and sometimes people will wear them for like New Year's, and they're like the American flag or stuff like that. She was wearing one of those, but it was a kind of bluish, kind of gray, and she was wearing that, and somebody attempted to take it off of her, so I had to go over there, I had to help her, so I was her handler. We take turns being handlers, but I have 2 handlers, my friend and another one of my friends, so make sure you have more than one handler, because if you were to go shooting and your original handler, like your main handler, can't go because of something that's going on, make sure you have another person to like go shooting with you, or just in general be there for you in case something bad were to happen. Because a lot of people think handlers are just there to make I'm gonna pause this because it's actually kind of loud. Some people think that handlers are there just to make everything strict. And yes, somebody will try and attack your handler, meaning like push them away or tell them no, I'm not doing anything to them. And then there are bad handlers. It's like you can't just be not so close friends with somebody, because you want to have somebody that's dear to you and that you know will protect you, not just somebody that you might automatically be friends with online and be like, hey, I'm gonna go shooting here, would you like to help me and make sure nothing happens? Those are generally the people that don't know, because you want to address somebody about it and tell someone about your hobbies and make sure that they understand and tell them all this other stuff, give them all the information, and basically that's it. So if you do go shooting in public and it's your first time, make sure you tell your handler about it. And your handler should be carrying around like a water bottle, or if you want to be cute like I was doing, I was wearing this small little backpack with a harness on, and that was at the mall, and apparently everyone thinks it's like an adult kind of thing, but it was like a little harness thing that I was wearing. I was having like all my badges on it and stuff like that, and they were the teens were like pulling on my harness and stuff. Yeah, that's a whole different story for a whole different video I'll post about. But make sure your handler knows how to take care of you. If you have a bad handler, well, then you chose the wrong person to be your handler, because then it's going to be completely confusing. Make sure that your handler does see the situation, and if you can get some time to walk away and go talk to your handler, then definitely go tell your handler. But your handler shouldn't walk off and go somewhere else. Number one thing that somebody shouldn't do, if you're somebody's handler, whenever they're shooting, don't walk off and go somewhere, because then something's gonna happen. And yes, my main handler did accidentally do that once. I had to correct them about it, because I didn't just want to be left there alone while people were around me. Because I didn't just want to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna try and like attack me or something like that. And I had to tell my handler, yo, please don't walk off on me, because then my social anxiety will start to act up and stuff like that. And I don't want them to be sitting there like, oh my gosh, where did she go? And I just stabbed myself with a needle. Oh no, I just stabbed myself with a needle on accident. It's not bleeding. I'm okay. Oh wait, it is kind of bleeding. Is it? We pause this moment to make sure I'm not bleeding. Okay, no, I'm not bleeding. Because I didn't want to bleed on camera, because then I'll have to end the live stream. Because some people do get disgusted by blood, and I just didn't want anyone to be disgusted by me bleeding on camera. And so I was just making sure you guys are okay, and then nobody would be disgusted by my blood. So yeah. But being a handler can be kind of tough because then sometimes you don't know what to do, blah, 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 handler stuff. So, yeah. Like always, be sure you are safe while shooting in public because then things can get kind of bad. By bad, I mean severe bad. Make sure your handler doesn't run off. I have this other ball that I should be working on, but I don't know what color I should make it. Yeah. I got fur back in my mouth. I have one of his feet here, but I'm gonna wait to make his feet. So I think I might make them, but it has a hole in his shoe. This is another Goodwill shoe. What do you know? I go to Goodwill to go buy some stuff for suits, and that's it. But his other paw is right here. Surprisingly, they did have pieces of fur over there that were used, and so I was like, ooh, wow, somebody tried to be a suitor. But I just like to joke around about that stuff. If I ever see fur that's used and it's at Goodwill, I'm just like, oh, somebody's trying to be a part of the furry fandom. I'm just trying to remove it because something's stuck in it. Oh no. Don't do this, kids. If you ever need to remove any hot glue gun stuff, please don't do this because then you accidentally might stab your own eye out. I don't need any eyeless viewers out there because then you'll be like me. My left eye doesn't necessarily work. I mean, I could still see out of my left eye, but its vision is horrible. And by horrible, I mean horrible because, yeah, it's just bad. For a physical exam thing, in which I didn't take it, at our school, we had to do, like, a vision test. I didn't take it for the vision reasons. Plus, I knew I might have gotten made fun of because of my weight. I am severely underweight. And so, I just didn't want everyone to be like, she is short and she is underweight. So, I was just protecting my safety of my reputation. Good reputation. Every time I say reputation, that song always pops up in my head. I don't know why. Oh, and yep, I was bleeding. Alright, I'm gonna have to end the live until my finger stops bleeding because it's, like, badly bleeding. I mean, that's, like, I don't want to show you the blood because I don't want anyone to get disgusted. I'm kind of disgusted right now because I'm bleeding everywhere, but not so severe. But it's alright, but still, me, if I just start to have, like, a big cut and there's blood everywhere, I start to freak out. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live. And once the bleeding stops, I'll get back on the live. But it was just a small little prick, but I'm surprised it's bleeding that much. So I'll be back. Don't worry, I'm not going to, like, stop live streaming, but I'll be back.